Where do I even begin? Nintendo is getting worse. Nintendo has always struck down content for copyright reasons, whether it's old video games like their Nintendo Music, emulators, and pirating. And there's something big going on at Nintendo. Nintendo is suing the company behind palworld. Palworld is a Pokemon inspired game but with guns. This game, when it launched, was the biggest success of all time. Easily the top 10 games of all time. And Nintendo is suing them. But it's not for the reason we think. Instead of Nintendo suing them for copyright, because obviously a lot of the pals look like Pokemon, instead of copyright, they're suing them for using a mechanic of capturing Pokemon in a Pokeball. And this is only scratching the surface of what palworld is about. Palworld is more than just catching. There's more to it than that. And what's baffling is that Nintendo is suing this company, palworld, for a capture feature of Pokeballs. Now, what kind of makes this worse is that if Nintendo wins, that would be bad. If Nintendo shuts down palworld, it won't be just shutting down palworld. Because of this feature of wanting to use the Pokeball feature in palworld, if Nintendo gets away with this, that will mean a loss to us creators of having creative freedom. And the people that made palworld had complete creative freedom. And if they make it where we aren't allowed to have certain features in certain games, that could completely ruin the creativity and uniqueness when it comes to newer games. Especially for indie games. I mean, most indie games are inspired by other games. And this could ruin the creativity of indies and other publishers and game companies. Okay. And of course, I'm only scratching the surface. We'll have to see what happens with this lawsuit. But here's the stakes. If Nintendo wins by any chance, they're basically getting rid of your creativity to make unique games. On the other hand, if palworld wins and Nintendo loses, it will be the most embarrassing thing that Nintendo has ever done. There's two sides to the same coin, both a positive and a negative. We could lose creative freedom of getting unique features in games, or the complete embarrassment of a giant corporation of all time. And Nintendo has struck things down before. Heck, I'm even probably risking getting a copyright from Nintendo making this video. Honestly, I'm making it. I have the freedom to do what I want, and I'm making this video. And honestly, I am cheering on palworld. I hope that they win, because We are just getting sick and tired of these corporations getting away with so much. I mean, with Nintendo not willing to preserve their games, they need to be taken down a notch. Like, we need to kick their butt. And I am not even joking about that. Corporations need to be held accountable to this stuff. I mean, I remember that one time when I was hearing stories that basically there was this convention that this one fan had, and it had a whole bunch of Pokemon merchandise, and it didn't cost a thing. It was full merchandise, and Nintendo completely shut him down just for having Pokemon merchandise at a convention. Nintendo is the biggest corporation of all time. That's obvious. But depending on what happens in this lawsuit, whether they win or lose, could be the ultimate situation of the gaming industry. And we don't know which direction it's going to go. I don't know if they have the resources. We'll have to see. I hope palworld can settle this lawsuit and take what's rightfully theirs. The guys that made palworld deserve this money because they made a unique IP that's really revolutionary. And I know there's those on the fence between Pokemon and palworld. But honestly, I'm not going to put that offense in a video. Honestly, I love Pokemon, but I also love palworld. So I'm not going to choose one or the other. You know, I like one or the other for different reasons. But corporations need competition. We need competition to make Pokemon better. If Pokemon has competition, it will result in quality Pokemon games. And that's final and decision. palworld ends up having a successful franchise while Pokemon fans get better and quality Pokemon games. Anyways, this is Josh signing out.